I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford.
Folks, we are really excited this week because this is our first collaboration. And our good friend Andy Tomlinson has a podcast called The Good Stuff. And Andy features a lot of the same stuff that we feature, but we found this to be a great and peaceful coexistence. And so we're having Andy on tonight as our first collaboration. It might sound a little differently this time because he's got certain things that he does in a certain cadence of doing things, and we have our thing. So we hope you enjoy this because collaborations are really a great thing about Chillicothe, and we thought it would be great to do it for the podcast as well. So here's Andy Tomlinson. Well, I'm glad that we have one half of the first family of Chillicothe podcasts.
Yeah. With
your wife, of course. You guys are like podcasts celebrities because
royalty,
maybe. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Because both of you have podcasts, which is really cool. So Andy Tomlinson's with us today. We're excited about that. This is our first collaboration.
Yeah, we're kind of excited about that
as well. So we'll talk about it, Andy has his own podcast. I'll let him introduce it here. And then we're actually going to release these on the same day and the whole deal. So
yeah, and I always say, welcome to the good stuff. So welcome to the good stuff.
There you go.
We're happy to be on the good stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. So the way I started my podcast, so my wife and I went to a conference together. It was called Gary V. Agent 2021. It was a marketing event for real estate agents, insurance agents, and auto dealers, I think.
Okay.
There weren't many auto dealers, but I'm like, hey, I like Gary V. Meredith likes Gary V. And I've never been to a conference with my wife and probably not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about, or we had actually a dinner with him. And he was saying, I was saying, I don't like video. She likes video. I don't like video. I have the face for radio. And
which is why we were both doing a podcast too.
Exactly.
So you're in good company.
And so that's how it started. He said, hey, you should probably just do a podcast on something you like, something that you are passionate about. And so I kept on thinking, what am I passionate about? The city, Chillicothe.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I could have done the Bengals, but I mean, one of the two.
Yeah.
There's plenty to talk about now.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty exciting time to talk about the Bengals.
That's right. And so, funny thing is, my wife gets home and starts a podcast. I wait about 2 years to start a podcast, and it came on shaky grounds too, because I was going to start it and then stop and start, and then I had it all ready. I think Mike was my first guest, and that audio is gone because of what you had to deal with.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it started. Well, and there was a lot of hurdles. Like right when I was starting it, my brother passed away, so that pushed it back. And I think, and it's crazy, I think you guys were starting at the exact same time.
Oh yeah. I remember.
It was like, I don't know. I was going to start, and then you were going to start, and we didn't realize that we were both doing the same thing. I was like, well, I think it works. We both like it, and there's an abundance of people to interview, and because our town's awesome. So it was, you guys got the head start where I had to it took me a while to get back, because that was a big shock to the system when you lose someone close to you.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we get lucky because Marty knows the ins and outs of audio.
Yeah.
So like, as I said before, and I've said this a million times, I show up and talk. And so for me, it's pretty simple, and Marty does a great job with the audio, and he picks on things that I don't even perceive, which is kind of cool. And I know you've got a guy that's helping you out. He does all insurance podcasts, right? Yeah. That's kind of handy to have.
It is, but the equipment, he told me, he actually said, go online and go to River something. It was all online, because he does all his podcasts online. Right. I'm like, I don't think you quite understand. Chillicothe, we don't do it online. We have people come to our place or we go to them.
Right.
It's not online. It's totally different from what you're doing. So I need equipment.
Yeah.
And
He wanted you to do more like a Zoom call type of recording,
Rivers,
where they're where they're calling in, and
that just doesn't fly, and I don't like that. I mean, that's not personal. And so I remember, I think I talked to you, and then after my third episode of it failing, audio was awful, and I think I bought all my stuff on Amazon, and it went bad. And then I called Sweetwater Sound.
Yep.
And
Sweetwater.
boy, they were sweet.
Yeah, they are fantastic.
Yeah.
They're people, when you call them, they know what they're talking about. You tell them what you're trying to do, and they will put together, and they don't try to sell you like all the high end stuff.
No.
They're like, what's your budget? We'll try to make it fit in your budget. Right now for podcasting it's a great time to get into podcasting, because all these audio companies are gearing towards podcasters, and they're releasing new microphones every day that are about helping people sound like they're in a studio and not be in a studio. Shure microphones, which we're not talking through a Shure microphone in either of these four. We got Audio Technica. This is a Neumann. That's a Sennheiser. They're just mics from my band, but Shure just released the MV7X, and it's going to come in at about $175 for a microphone, but it's supposed to fix room problems like what I'm fighting in this room. It's just they're making it to try to help podcasters sound as professional as possible.
So we really got to lock down this sponsor, I guess is what you're saying.
Really,
Sure.
So
Sure microphones.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Andy runs Tomlinson Insurance here in Chillicothe. It is a legacy business in our town. In fact, Andy's firm was named the Legacy Award winner this year at our chamber dinner. But Andy actually moved back after being away for a while. And I think that story is kind of interesting. Like you went away to the University of Kentucky and graduated and ended up moving away for a while, and then you came back. So tell us a little bit about that.
I went to, actually, here's the crazy part, is everyone thinks I graduated from Chillicothe. So product of divorce, parents got divorced, and I moved 7th grade summer to Cincinnati with my mother.
Okay.
But I was always here on weekends.
Yeah.
And so everyone thought, I graduated with him.
Yeah.
Right.
Not really.
No.
Anyway, went to UK. And then after UK, I went to Charleston, South Carolina. A little detour before that. Went to Hilton Head for a internship my last senior year. Stayed there for 6 months. Realized as a 3-year-old, by October, Hilton Head's pretty boring.
Yeah.
So I called a buddy of mine who was in high school with me, years ago, and he was in somewhere in New York. The name escapes me. It's a very small town, and he actually worked for a newspaper, and he was kind of getting tired of it because it was an older community too in the winter. And we said, let's live on the beach. So we both lived on Folly Beach. Absolute terrible apartment. You could put a basketball on one end and it would just keep on rolling. I mean, it was hit by Hurricane Hugo and it was never really fixed. And then from there, I worked at a unbelievable restaurant. It was a great opportunity and crazy times. Charleston at that time was they had Johnson and Wales, which is a culinary school. And so they became a foodie town before it was a popular thing. And these guys that I was working with were incredible. They're on like TV and opening up. I mean, just unbelievable. And then, so I was managing, but I was young and these guys are,
you're like, shouldn't you be bossing me around? Yeah.
Well, and I wasn't really managing. These guys they would take notes. They were professional servers. They made $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I mean, like one time, this guy that does these notes every night, Emerald Lagasse came in and he served them 7 years ago. And he remembered what he had for dinner and what his favorite wine was. He came down with the wine. I'm sorry, I went backwards. And Emerald was like, holy cow. So if you impress Emerald, I mean,
Right.
But anyway, so great times there. And then I moved from Charleston to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And
I'm a fan.
yeah, you are a fan.
I am a fan.
Yeah, you have
Big
family that go there.
Yep. My girls, we went there over the winter. It was a fantastic place.
It is. And then, so I skied a lot, worked in the condo hospitality industry there. And then 9/11 hit. And then I got a call from my father that he wanted some help back at the insurance agency. And I at no point wanted to ever come back. And I think I first said no. He was sick. He had some heart problems. And then a couple of days later, I said, yeah, I need to come. So I came back home.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best decisions. It is my best decision I've ever made. And it totally, changed my path. And, hospitality and insurance aren't really the same, but they kind of are. You're helping people. You're more of a service oriented. So it fit.
Yeah.
Never thought it would, because, as a kid, you just don't, as anyone who wants to get in the insurance business, it sounds very boring.
Right.
But you're there to help people and protect people, and they call you at the time of need, and it's a great fit.
Yeah. Do you think it took you aging a little bit to see that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a 20-year-old, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Yeah. Didn't see the correlation.
No, absolutely.
With hospitality and what you were working in at that point. Yeah.
No. But it's, love it.
Yeah,
and I love Chillicothe. I mean, plus when I came back to Chillicothe, the downtown wasn't what it is now. But I always lived downtown when I got back. I've been on 2nd Street for 20 years.
Yeah.
You were at one spot and then you just walked down the street, right?
118 to 79 to 159 to, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing about your story too, is that when you came back, you found a town that needed a push in the right direction. And, you had the insurance agency and you moved from 2nd Street to Main Street.
Yeah.
The building looks beautiful, by the way. I think you've done a great job with it. It has this classic feel to it now, which I think is really, really cool.
Thanks.
But you've also been a part of the things that have going on downtown. You've got partners in the Three Amigos with Bart Herrnstein and Nate Baldwin. You guys have renovated the building that has Paper City. You did the Huntington Bank building, which now has 50 West in it. And it's got to be pretty exciting to be part of seeing a building, having an opportunity, but then how do we turn that into that has to be, you have to capitalize on the opportunity, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a crazy story of itself, how the Three Amigos started.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that story?
I know the story, but Marty probably doesn't.
I don't.
So Meredith was looking for a building for the Mighty Children's Museum. And they had a building, and I thought they were going to lock it in on a lease. And we were in Cozumel, Mexico, hence why it's Three Amigos. And we were all talking, and the old Renix restaurant was up for auction. I said, hey, guys, you guys ever think about, this might be a building for the Mighty Children's Museum. You guys want to go to the auction? That was it. We went to the auction. The rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
We started with the museum, and then the coffee shop. That was surprising too. We were like, another coffee shop? Do you think it will work? Oh, absolutely. It worked. Paper City has done great. And then we were like, well, we kind of need to do something on the 2nd, 3rd apartments. So when we've had a project since 2016.
Yeah.
And so after 50 West, we said, we need a break.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. That was a lot.
Yeah. So we've, I think this December will come on a year that we've had a break. So one year, but if there's any year, it was after COVID.
Well, I think the apartments are the thing that I really think was a game changer for Chillicothe.
Yeah,
I agree.
Don't think a lot of people thought of living downtown no criticism of anybody else that had an apartment, but you guys sort of said, we're going to make luxury apartments and market them as luxury apartments. And I remember thinking to myself, this might be a tough one to fill, but you've not had any problems filling those spaces at all.
Actually, we have one open right now, and it's funny. I mean, I've had 2 people look at it, and one couldn't do it, and then this last one, funny story. Older couple, live in Commercial Point, live on a farm, have looked at a lot of places in Ohio, have fallen in love with Chillicothe. They're in their, I don't know, 60s or 70s, and they see what we're doing. It's kind of fun to hear their story. Like today, that's where I met, and they were like, we have been following Chillicothe. We actually get the Gazette. We see what they're doing, and other towns aren't like this.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear. I mean, we kind of take it for granted a little bit, but they're coming here because of what's like just the events and different things.
Yeah.
And for an older person, I mean, it's, they're wanting to retire here and live in a, 2-story walk-up apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, our first tenant was a older gentleman on the 3rd floor, and that was never thought. That wasn't the demographic, but it is.
Yeah. Well, I know when I started seeing pictures of what you were doing in those, like I started working on Jen. I'm like, you know what? We could sell our place and move into one of those because I loved them. I thought you guys did an amazing job. They're beautiful. So that's exciting to see that people are. That is an odd demographic to pick up. I mean, we're the same, right? We wanted to be downtown. That's why we are where we are now.
Yeah,
is because we love just walking off the porch and across the Horizon parking lot and go grab dinner someplace.
You're trying for that Horizon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
keep dropping. Not really. Sorry,
I'm kidding.
Well, I think the story that you just talked about, to me, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, was an uncommon story. It is not as uncommon as we think now.
I know.
I hear more and more people, Kelsey and Meredith are serving people that are moving from the Southwest. It's amazing to think about these folks that are coming here now because of what we've created.
Yeah.
And I say I'm just like a bit player in it. You guys are out there doing the hands-on renovation of the building.
Oh, it's not it's everyone. It's not.
But it's that effort where everybody was like, you know what? We are going to take care of our own story. We're going to take control of it. And we're going to say, we will be better 10 years from now than we are today, and that's exactly what we've done, which is great. I mean,
the Carlisle spurred it.
Yeah.
But then you got to think of Ed. I mean, holy cow, he's been doing it for a long time and keeps on doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yep.
And just the other restaurants that came in and hopefully they are going to come in. And, hopefully COVID doesn't shutter us down.
Yeah. I think we're getting new building owners downtown too that are they have the same vision and same creative spirit about doing these things. And, to me, that's incredibly inspiring to me because, I'm not somebody with the capital or the partnerships to do it, but I certainly will. Once you fill it up with a restaurant or a place, I'm going to be patronizing it on a regular basis. But I jokingly said that somebody said that 50 West has had it slow down a little bit, and I said, well, yeah, I did have COVID for a couple of weeks, so maybe that was why.
Well, I think that's like an important piece to this that maybe is often overlooked, but the fact that more living spaces downtown are becoming available and people are starting to renovate and create nicer places to live, or even like Airbnbs popping up, and how important that is to the foot traffic to downtown, and part of that success. So I think that's really, the more that happens, the more that downtown can support and the more success those businesses will have.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 Airbnbs across the street from me, and it's just fun to talk to them and say, because like you, I'm ambassador of Chillicothe, and say, how you doing? Where do you guys want to go? What, I mean,
right. Yeah.
My wife's like, come on inside. But
Well,
it's interesting to see where these people are coming from and what they're doing and what brought them here. And I just think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I do too.
And you know, there are a lot of small towns that can't say that.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell you. I mean, I got a call from the Maysville, Kentucky chamber director, and she said, I can't tell you how many times I tell people, you know, you ought to look at Chillicothe because they do it like this or they've done this. And, you know, I always jokingly say, yeah, if you can get your local hospital to invest, you know, $2 million in a project in the middle of your downtown, you've got it made.
Yeah.
But, you know, we had to also, it had to help catch the fire for other people. Courtney Lewis, you know, Liz Corzine, people that started things when things started to get going. And then that just, you know, bred other people, Ben Daughters and, you know, Chelsea Bruning and people like that that just really started
Cody
gravitating.
Rutherford. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So many great stories.
Yeah.
So the podcast for you, you've called it The Good Stuff.
Yeah.
And you're really trying to spotlight. And I think this is the fun thing. Like you and I were talking the other day, like we need to start talking about our ideas because, you know, every once in a while we'll say it like, Andy got him before we did. Ed Kunselman was that one of those where we're like, he got me, he beat me to it.
But that was one that you were like, man, how did he get him?
Yeah. Well, the one that
was well, it took me a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that. The only one that has been an issue for me so far, and Marty brought this one up to me.
Oh, yeah.
My sister-in-law went on your podcast before she went on mine, but as she pointed out, she had not been invited yet. So, I want to be clear.
Whose fault's that, though?
It was not Aaron Alsop's fault. It was my fault.
She was very apprehensive. She didn't think she'd like to go on it, and she did wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, she said she was nervous, and
isn't that amazing? Like we had the same issue.
Yeah.
Chelsea Bruning was one. And I mean, she was literally shaking when she came in here, but man, she hit a home run.
Oh my gosh. It was such a great conversation.
I think, you know, it's the number one. I think some people are just uncomfortable talking about themselves or they're not used to being us three knuckleheads or in front of this mic every week.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think once you get it over that barrier, boy, you know, you start talking about the things they're passionate about, boy, it starts to come out.
Well, you know, she said, I really wanted to do a short podcast. I could have kept on going on with her. I listened, and I think she would have gone longer and been fine. But I wanted to, you know, be true to my word.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I think for us, what we've figured out or are learning, maybe not figured out, is that as soon as you can make the microphone disappear in their eyes, then they get super comfortable and really open up and tell some great stories.
Yeah.
You know, like last week we had Lori Graves here, has a mic in front of her all the time. And so she was super comfortable from the get go. But when you go back to Chelsea, like 2 or 3 minutes in, we had some laughs and some funny things happened. And then you could just tell Chelsea, she forgot all about the microphone. It wasn't something that she was fidgeting with or moving around, and really just started telling her story. And that's what that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And you got Lori Graves, so she was going to be my guest in July.
Yeah.
Something came up with her. I think she had to go to, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I remember
Las Vegas or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and so we never jived.
Yeah.
Then I saw like, we got her, but.
The podcast wars of Chillicothe.
Not really, though. It's really not, because there's so many good people to talk to, and so many good stories and good things.
Right. And so like we have had some crossover with a few people, and something different comes out of the conversation every time. And so even those that have already been on the podcast, I think it really helps with.
Yeah, I mean, we had Emily Gerber Poe on, and she came in, kicked her shoes off, and crossed her legs on the
couch.
Like, just kicked up on the couch like she was
comfortable.
Yeah, because and then I realized afterwards, like she had done 4 podcasts, you know, and most of them were insurance podcasts.
Yeah.
And we were more focused on the local stuff, but you know,
which I think it came out really fast that she enjoyed talking about that.
Yeah,
that she didn't have to talk about insurance. She got to talk about all the family and all the other things that were going on. So. I mean, we still cover those topics, but so just let the conversation go.
I assume you've enjoyed doing your podcast immensely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
how did you guys get into, what was your story?
About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Mike and I were, maybe longer than that. We were coming back
from Louisville.
Louisville. We went to a Mumford and Son concert.
Nice.
And had just had this amazing conversation. But the last hour of the conversation was just trying to keep each other awake.
Yep.
Because it was I would say a school night. It was a work night.
Yeah.
I drove down there, came back, and
That was a
home at
mistake.
like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. But that conversation just spurred me. We're like, wow, that was an amazing conversation. How cool would it be for us to have that same conversation with other people and bring more voices into the conversation? And like maybe something good could come out of that. And so I started working on him. I'm like, hey man, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? And he's like, dude, I don't have time to do a podcast. I'm like, neither do I. But I think it would be so much fun to do a podcast with you. Why would you want to do a podcast with me? And
What are we going to talk about? That's all I ever said. What are we talking
what are
about?
we going to talk about? I'm like, all the great things that are happening in Chillicothe. How about we be a podcast that sheds light on those things that maybe don't always get light shed on them.
Yeah.
So that people see behind the scenes, see what's really happening. Like we talked with Lori, people know her for her comedy, but she does all these great things for families that are in need behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And she uses that platform. I'm like, there's so many more stories like that. Why don't we talk about those things? And we bounced it back and forth, and Mike he pushed me off for about 4 years probably.
Yeah. And then
So 4
one
years
day I
of
woke up and I was like, what's that?
4 years of procrastination.
That's exactly right. Well, I'm a slow learner. I'm a little slow in the uptake sometimes. One day I was sitting there thinking about it and I was like, I really would like to do a podcast, but I don't really want to do a chamber podcast.
Yeah.
That's not really my thing. I have 3 years in the profession, like people could listen to it and go, oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about, And so I thought, well, how do I do this and do it right? And so then we went for a walk in downtown. It was during COVID, I think, wasn't it? Went for a walk in downtown and we just hashed it out. Like we could do it like this and then we got hung up on, well, what do we name it?
Right.
And that took us like a month and a half to get through. And then all of a sudden it was like, our good friend Corey Breath had put out an album and there was a song on it called Feels Like Home. And Marty threw it out. He's like, feels like home. We already have a theme song if we do that. I'm sure Corey would let us do it. And boom, just like that, it took off.
I texted him, I'm like, hey man, what if we called our podcast Feels Like Home and your song was our theme song? And he's like, done, make it happen. What do I need to do?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We had to figure out, because the other part of it too is like, do you own the rights to your own music?
Right.
Because if somebody else owns the right to your music, then now I got to negotiate with them, right? Because it would be great to have, Avett Brothers play your theme song, but you can't get that, right?
Yeah.
You got to go through Warner Brothers and everybody else, right?
You can't afford that.
We can't afford that. So as soon as we knew that, we were on our way. And I think from the time that we decided what the name was going to be until the first 3 episodes, because we launched with 3 episodes right off the bat, was like a month.
Wow.
Because we just went after it. We recorded, I think, we did 3 in 3 weeks and released all of those. And they were like, wow, we got to keep doing this so it went pretty quick.
Yeah. And what was funny is when we were close, we'd had that conversation, walked around town, like, man, we need to make this happen. Okay. And we would procrastinate. Okay. When should it start? We'll get to it. And then Mike showed up at my band practice one night.
Yeah.
He texted me. He's like, hey, do you have practice tonight? I'm like, yep, till 7:30. I'll be there at 7:30. And he walks in the church, sits down. And like, that's when it really, it's like, okay, next Wednesday, we're recording the first episode. Yep. Who's going to be our first guest? Who do you think we could get? And then that's just where it came.
Yeah. I mean, it came together very quickly, but I think I underestimated, like I like to prep, I probably did the least amount of prep. I think maybe the both of us did the least amount of prep for this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like I would spend, especially at the beginning, I would spend an hour, 2 hours just prepping about who we were bringing in. And it's funny. I knew all these people and most of the stuff that I was writing down, I already kind of knew. But then when I'd ask a question, things would come out and I'd be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that aspect of the story. Like, for example, honest to God, I've known you all this time. I did not realize that you moved to Cincinnati.
Yeah, see? No one
and
did.
so if somebody would have said, which high school did Andy Tomlinson graduate from in Ross County? I would have said Chillicothe.
And Turpin Spartans.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati.
Crazy. It's just, I think that's the thing. Like we always want to leave people with, you're finding out something that you didn't know about somebody that you thought you knew.
Well, and then I don't know about you, but I can try to prep as much as you want, but go off that so quickly, and it's better that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to be tied. I don't even think I've talked to any of these. I mean, and in all fairness, I did about 5 minutes before we came back, because that's about how much time I had today.
Well, and again, you know, like I think I give a lot more credit to Marty, because this sound system is foreign to me. I would not know which end is up on all that. And I'm lucky that Marty has the background in it and can make it sound great. He doesn't also modulate my voice to sound like Mickey Mouse or anything like that. So
that's what I kept telling Mike from the beginning. It's like, I'll take care of that piece. You just like get people to the table, and then I'll figure out how to record it and make it sound as good as it can. And I critique the sound of ours all the time. I'm always tweaking and trying to make it better. And it will continue to improve. But the guests that we've had to this point, I couldn't have picked better guests. I mean, I'm just super proud of the lineup that we had. Yeah. The people we've had a chance to get conversations. I think like Dr. Gabus and it's given me opportunities to say things to people that I've always wanted to say to them, but I've never had the opportunity. With Dr. Gabus and how he took care of my dad after my mom's death. I would never have had a chance to sit down and talk to him, but Mike was running a few minutes late, and we were sitting in my living room. I said, and I finally, I have to tell you something. Thank you. And like that episode will always be special to me, because I had that conversation with him before we even hit the record button.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah. And I think same thing for me. Like I got to tell Emily how special Joel is in my life. You know, I don't know if she really knew that story much, and just the other people, like, I thought, when we had Wes Mulbash on, like, to me, that was such a great episode, because he was just open and honest and ready to talk. And,
so genuine.
Honestly, I mean, it just to hear his story and about all the exciting things that he's doing, like, I didn't know all those things. So it just made it that much better,
Well, and when we, our radio station used to have the Dan and Mike show in the mornings.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that is now missed. And I felt like this was something that could kind of take that part, and it's more convenient, really. Let's be honest, because we don't listen to, some people listen to the radio like they normally do, but these podcasts, for me, I use them when I run or when I work out or walk or I'm in a car for a long time. Yeah. Same with books, but that void when that show went away, because it was about the community, and I think my kids and my wife are happy that that's gone, because that was my morning routine. Would turn on that AM 1490 in the morning, have my shower and listen to Dan and Mike talking to people. Yeah, and that when that left, there was a void.
Yeah. I agree. I think, both of our shows fill that void nicely.
Yeah.
I even look at, obviously Meredith and Jen's podcast is not related to me.
Yeah.
It's geared toward women. But I've listened to it several times and found out some interesting things, or had some fun things, to listen to.
Yeah. So I have too. I've listened to some things that she's talking about me. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So I got to listen.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate your leadership in downtown. I appreciate your leadership, just contributing to a lot of events in our town as well. I see your name out a lot, and I really appreciate what you do. I think the podcast has been great. I know, it's funny. I decided early on, we're not going past a half hour, and then every episode's been like an hour. And then,
I don't have rules.
And so, like,
I kept telling him the podcast is going to be as long as it needs to be.
Yeah.
If that's 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes.
Marty, no one's going to listen to anything past 30 minutes. And then we had these ideas. We came up with these ideas for like segments, like the top 5 thing. We were going to do a couple other things that we were going to kind of throw in. And then it gets hard to do that when you're talking to people for an hour. You can't throw a segment in, because that just throws the continuity off. So,
but then we realized that their story was way more important than the things that we wanted to bring up in these segments. So
really, the audience determines for you what you're going to do, we've actually been lucky. We've done a couple of like topical episodes.
Yeah.
And those have done well, but
Right.
by far people's stories are doing much better. So
Yeah.
you can't argue with it after a while.
And
Data
I
is
try it
data.
all. I mean, we talk about current events. We talk to
Yeah.
business leaders. We talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And you guys have yourselves, so you guys have accountability for you. For me, there's some weeks that it goes dry, and that's usually because I have a busy week or I'm out of town at a conference like I was 2 weeks ago. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I like your seasons. I might take that because it would be nice to have a little break and, get some guests lined up as you've probably done.
Yeah.
But I think it was healthy for us to refuel and get excited about. I mean, I think maybe we didn't realize how much we would enjoy. Like we record on Wednesday nights, and like Monday I start looking forward to Wednesday
night,
because I know Mike's coming over and we're going to have a guest and we'll sit down and talk, and it's just that's become an important part of my weekly life.
Sure.
And so I understand like having some accountability, but when we said, hey, we're going to do 20 episodes this season, and then we're going to take about a month off. And like, I think we were ready at that point. But then when we said, hey, it's time to start recording again, we were both like ready to jump back in.
I mean, honestly, the COVID thing, we did an episode. We did the episode with Seth and Justin from Old Capital.
Yeah.
And then I got COVID the next week.
Yeah,
so that
we were
put us
supposed to meet,
2 weeks
remember?
back. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And then I said, well, that pushes us back. And then, then I was like, now I'm like, oh, now I got to really book some people and get this thing going. I'm like, wait a minute. The season will last as long as it lasts, right? Like, so we're pushed it back a little bit. Yeah. We'd actually recorded hey, we're coming back next week thing that we ended up, it's probably in the iPad somewhere, but it's in the trash bin now. So then we kind of re-recorded it after that, so I could talk a little bit about why, we were delayed, and I think people enjoyed it, and so now we've got,
it did really well with downloads. So
so
it's kind of surprised me.
People apparently really liked my story, I guess, and wanted to hear about me watching all the Marvel movies
with COVID.
Yeah,
that's right. So for your podcast, I really enjoy, and I think I sent you a message after I listened to it with Mr. Hirsch, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Bill.
Bill Hirsch.
Yeah, that I learned so much that I wasn't aware.
What's funny is he says, "Oh, everyone knows my story." I said, "No, Bill, they don't.
Yeah.
No,
they really don't. And they wouldn't like to hear it."
Yeah, because that morning I listened to that. I texted you immediately because I was like, that was fantastic. What an intriguing person.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, he's restored this house.
Beautiful. House. Have you been to it?
I'm on the Civic Theater board, and Clue was going on right now. And they were like, hey, can we sneak in and take some pictures on your staircase?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what actually would be better is if you went and called him and went to the Atwood house, because that house is gorgeous and kind of feels like Clue, like from board game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So more from that era. So yeah.
I was just there this week, and I hadn't been upstairs before. That's really cool.
Yeah.
This year I was supposed to have our anniversary there. We were going to stay the night and be tourists. Time and kids got in our way, and we didn't end up, but I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful structure.
That was a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed that. And you have some specific questions that you ask all of your guests. And honestly, I really like that because we don't do that typically. So I think that's cool that's different between our podcasts, but it is fun to find out what people are reading.
Yeah.
And where they love to eat. Cause you get all these great ideas of if you're ever someplace.
That's why I do it. Cause I want to know where to eat. And also I want to have a book on audio.
Yeah.
Because that's how I load up my library.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I should, if you really wanted real books, I could have given you the 150 that I gave to AEUW.
Oh yeah. They're having their sale this week.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to move, of course. So I cleaned out my library.
Yeah.
And I said, I grabbed one box. Marty gave me a bunch of boxes because he just moved. I grabbed one of the large boxes, said, this is as many books as I'm bringing. And my wife said, there's no way. But I filled that one up and I said, I'm done. What are you going to do with all those? I said, I'll figure it out.
You probably have a library in your new house, don't you?
We will. We'll have bookshelves.
Yeah.
But I just feel the need to declutter.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to give back in some way.
Yeah.
So Wendy Bennett, who works for me, she's the president of AAUW. She was talking about the book sale, and I was like, hey, will you take 150 books?
And she probably said, sure.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, just bring them over. So
yeah.
If you find my name in any of the AAUW books this week, I'll come by and autograph it for you or something. I'm not the author.
This is airing. When is
it'll
yours?
probably be out Monday. So we talked about this. We actually talked about, he usually releases on Tuesday, so maybe we'll bump back a day.
Yeah.
But I don't have rules. I've done a Friday, I've done a Monday, and I've done a Tuesday.
Yeah. So
at some point I feel like podcasts, you don't have to be stuck to those dates because they're going to listen to them when they can.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of podcasts.
It's funny. I'm listening to a podcast right now, and the podcast jumps in on a story, but the story is evolving. And so they've literally had trouble because people, as they've been talking about this issue, people have been calling and saying, hey, you ought to talk to this person or whatever. So they literally had to take these long breaks, and then they would do an episode where they're like, hey, look, we know we've been out for a couple of weeks and we're really sorry, but we've actually gotten a lot more in. So now we're going to only do them every 2 weeks. And I think that kind of honesty about it is pretty refreshing for people. Because,
I think so too.
if you watch a show on television and they just say, you know what, we're not going to have one this week, you'd be pretty PO'd,
Right.
But if you're communicating with people, like, it makes sense, So I think that's.
I should say every week that I can't do it. Hey, I'm not having one this week.
Yeah,
I'm on vacation or I'm at a conference. Or
I think the listening crowd for podcasts are, for the most part, we're not really commercial podcasts.
No.
So we don't have a bunch of big sponsors, and I think people are pretty forgiving.
Yeah,
I think they would be. Not as forgiving if our audio was bad, really bad.
Yep.
But
and there's been some bad ones on mine.
Well, I mean, we have had some issues too.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one episode that I spent probably 4 hours editing just to make it sound halfway decent. But Mike's talking about podcasts. What other podcasts are you listening to?
Insurance podcast.
Oh,
I know it's really exciting. And sometimes some chef podcasts.
Okay. So are you? You said you worked in the restaurant industry. Are you a cook? Do you? Okay.
Yeah. I like to cook.
You love to cook.
I am the cook of the house for sure.
Sure.
Meredith says I like to go to the grocery store, to get out of the house, but I do to cook. Really.
Nice.
I have for, I don't know, years.
Yeah. I'm the same way. My wife does not really enjoy cooking.
No.
And we're not great at it together. So she's been doing the what kind of meals are they?
Like the prepackaged box meals,
but you still have to fix it and prep. Yeah. And I've learned a ton about cooking, just fixing those meals. It's been a fun process.
Yeah, we're on. Which one are we on? We change a lot.
Yeah,
we do too.
Hungry Root.
Oh, we haven't tried that one.
I haven't tried that one yet.
So my family's really hard to cook for. My wife's a vegetarian.
Okay.
My daughter's gluten-free.
Okay.
Holy cow. And I love meat.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So you're really cooking a couple different meals each time when you cook.
Yeah.
My family's.
I became a vegetarian a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my family's really hard to cook for too, because they don't eat anything except for pizza and chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. So it makes it kind of hard. Like, they'll try things every once in a while. They've liked some things, but for the most part, we cook for us.
Yeah.
And we cook for them, so.
Here recently, Rivers Bend has been doing something called alley pizza.
Yeah.
So he's just down this alley from me, and we have been cooking pizza on Sundays. It's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
So if your kids like pizza, come by.
Yeah, I'll have to bring Walker over for sure. He's a big pizza guy.
Are you using Micah's pizza oven?
Yeah. So he has that coal oven pizza thing.
Yeah.
And I told Micah we have a cook-off, but it really wasn't cook-off. But it's been fun. That and those recipes are from, and she would be upset if I didn't say it, but Amanda Putnam is the one that gave me a lot of these pizza recipes.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I added a twist of a little honey in it, but
Okay.
Yeah.
That's bold. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, pizza. We talk about, going to your podcast and answering your question. Favorite pizza place?
Yeah.
Max's Pizza. It's a coal-fired pizza place in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
my favorite pizza place of all time.
Can we
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
go to this?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's your favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner spot?
My favorite breakfast spot is Carl's.
Yeah.
I go there every Friday, some other days too, when I feel like I really, I don't even have to ask anymore. They know what to bring me. They bring me a cup of coffee to start, and then bacon, eggs over easy, and wheat toast comes shortly thereafter. So
It's my favorite too. I haven't been there in a while, but when I was at 79, which is where Meredith's office, I was there every day. And the same server's there, and she still to this day knows exactly what I want, and she'll bring me my coffee, and she'll bring me my sausage, egg and cheese bagel, and hash browns. So,
it's important, especially I think downtown, to have a great breakfast place because Chillicothe doesn't have a lot of breakfast places.
Yeah.
And so I think Carl's is so local. Yeah, Carl's is my favorite as well. But my all-time favorite breakfast place is the Silver Grill in Fort Collins, Colorado.
nice. I can't wait to visit there.
what's your thing there?
Well, they have these amazing cinnamon rolls that they'll cut in half, and you can get them like as French toast or just regular toast. They're just
Wow.
It's
Sounds pretty
great
good.
meal. There's always a line.
Yeah.
Anytime you go, and honestly, that's the last place I've actually gone inside to eat was when we were out there. We have to eat there when we're there. So
So now out of town, Pamela's Diner in Pittsburgh is probably my favorite place. Anytime I'm in Pittsburgh, I go there and get breakfast there. They do crepe style pancakes, but they're known for, they do the crepe filled pancakes. I get it with strawberries, but it's brown sugar and sour cream.
Wow.
And you're sitting there like, sour cream, that's an odd sensation. It works. It's amazing. And you can get it with blueberries as well. They also have a California French toast there that's bananas and things like that. Kels loves that. But boy, I'll tell you right now, that I never would have dreamed in a million years like that combination was going to work. But Pamela's is pretty amazing.
it is amazing. That's where we ate after you two.
That's all right. I forgot about that.
And I ran into somebody that I knew from Charlotte.
Yeah, it's exactly
my
right.
pastor.
And that's
That
in
was
Pittsburgh.
bizarre. Yeah,
Yep.
it's in Pittsburgh. It's,
I'm not. A
You
big
don't go to
fan of
Pittsburgh, I know.
Yeah.
No.
it's all right. We don't want.
Hey, babe. We finally won this year.
That's right.
So lunch for me,
Could be out of town too.
I'll tell you what, I'm marking myself here, but I have really become a 50 West guy for lunch. I really have. It's easy for me because like when you were at 79, I literally walk, half a block and I can get something, and it's usually pretty quick.
So you get the Colorado burger there?
I do not get the Colorado burger. I have had the Colorado burger. In fact, I had the Colorado burger at that mighty fundraiser that they did out here on the street.
Oh yeah.
That burger is fantastic, but it is hot.
I was feeling that for a while. My favorite is the Kansas,
Yeah.
which is delicious, man. It's messy, but it's really good. So
I get that on chicken. But have you tried the Geta burger? That's the seasonal.
Kels got it when we were there the other day. She said it was tremendous.
Yeah, I love Geta, but that's a Cincinnati thing.
Yeah.
It's like a sausage with oats.
Yep.
Your favorite?
I honestly, I have to probably go to Los Mariachis.
Yeah.
Because I have a group of friends that we've eaten there almost every Thursday for probably 18
a long time.
years.
Yeah.
Whenever they opened, it was Poco Loco before.
Yeah.
And then the Fiesta Ranchero was out there we went to Fiesta Ranchero and it was out on Bridge Street for a little bit. And then Los opened up and we've been there almost every Thursday since.
Yeah.
So I never answer this, but my lunch spot would be in college. It was the place called Alfalfa's. And I think it's still there. It was like a little hippie granola place, but they have this dish called the Hoppin' John. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's still there. It was probably pre-COVID, but
Yeah.
great place if you're ever in Lexington for lunch.
For lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to remember that.
Dinner, the best pizza I've ever had is at Giuliana's Pizza in the Bronx in New York. And it is wood fired. It's a small little place. We went there and waited an hour to get a seat one time. And when I was actually for my 50th birthday, I went to go see the Mets and Yankees in the Subway Series. And we had heard about Giuliana's as one of the best pizza places in the nation.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we'll see about this. But my goodness, so good.
Wonderful.
I would fly back there just to go there again. In fact, I took my daughters to see 21 Pilots in Uniondale about 5 years ago. And I was like, I'm going to get back there somehow. Didn't happen. I was heartbroken. I had to not show it for my beautiful daughters because they were there to see 21 Pilots. So, but Giuliana's Pizza in the Bronx is unbelievable. So
That's fantastic.
wait, I'm sorry. It was Brooklyn. Not the Bronx. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to the Bronx.
Yeah, that would have been really awkward.
So dinner. Oh man, I kind of mentioned the Max's coal-fired pizza in Atlanta, Georgia. Fantastic. It's some of the best pizza I've ever had.
Mine would be Peninsula Grill in Charleston, where I used to work.
Yeah. I've
good-
eaten there. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Well, it's a good place to take a date. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something you eat every night because it's pretty pricey, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other I will add that I've eaten at twice in the last year is Pastor's Pantry in Wheelersburg.
Yeah.
It's,
I saw you
It's listed
post
as
something. What's
it's
it?
listed as a cooking school. It's a friend of mine, Sam Peters. He's a pastor of a church down in Ironton, I think. And I met him through my band years ago, and he opened up this cooking school. And really, it's you go and you watch him cook, and he tells you what he's doing, and you basically just eat. And
Sounds like my kind of cooking school.
a couple. So you have to follow them on Facebook to see what their menus are coming up. They're only open about 3 nights a week, but fantastic. You get there at 6:30, wrap up about 8.
And that's Wheelersburg.
And that's in Wheelersburg.
Cool.
And it's fantastic. But they had a taste of San Antonio. And so my buddy John Mark and I went down a couple Mondays ago. That's what you probably saw in my Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And it was a 7-course meal. And there wasn't any, I ate everything. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I remember you posting
I
about
recommend
that.
it.
I've seen him post about it too a couple times.
Books. Current book you're reading or books you'd like to share?
So the book that I'm reading right now is kind of boring. No one else is going to care, but Horseshoes versus Chess. It's a practical guide to chamber leadership. It's by the guy that was the head of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, David Atkinson. It's really good. I just started it last night. The other book, ironically enough, also is about Kentucky. It's called Pappyland by Wright Thompson, which just came out last year. It's basically like the
Bourbon.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit about the culture of horse racing and the way it relates to bourbon, and it's a tremendous book. I enjoyed it immensely. I basically got it because it was about bourbon, but it gets a little bit more into the story of the Van Winkles and all that other stuff. It's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
Here is Real Magic by Nate Staniforth. He's a magician, and being a magician was wearing on him, so he decided to take a spiritual journey to India and meet up with some of the original like magicians and see like old world magic and illusions and things. And so it became this like just rediscovering himself as a magician. And it's fantastic. It's well written. It's his first book. He actually has a second book out that I just ordered. And but yeah, I'm rereading that one just because it was so good.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty quick read, but it's just a great story.
I'm reading a couple right now. One is They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. He was a speaker at the last conference I was at. Really good. And I've just started diving into it, but he was a pool guy and became a marketer kind of. People would ask the question and he would answer it, and that's how he built his business.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. That is about negotiation. FBI negotiator. Pretty pretty cool.
Oh, that's got to be pretty neat.
Yeah.
That sounds
Kind of
interesting.
use that in business a little bit.
Well, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm usually have a couple going, and I do audiobooks. I don't really have time to read.
It's tough to find time, especially you've got active kids that are doing things, and we have the same.
Yeah.
Marty's less of that now, but he likes to find time to go and see his kids and things like that too. So.
It's tough. I find when I grab a book and kick it open, I'm ready for bed.
I would be too.
So audiobooks help me out tremendously.
Yeah.
Night owl, early riser, both.
Early riser, it drives my wife insane.
Yeah.
She is definitely, it was the boys in our family are early risers, and Lucy is now, but then Juliana and Kelsey, they're not doing it. So I'm an early riser for sure.
I am a night owl. Yeah. I go to bed way too late every night, but then, 7, I'm up and at it. But yeah, I wish I could go to bed earlier, but maybe I should start reading a book.
Yeah, then you go to sleep earlier.
Put me in bed.
Yeah. Right now I'm an early riser. Not as early as Meredith half the time, but she's up at like 5 and then I get up at 6.
Yeah.
She works out before me usually. So yeah.
Well, when you got to get kids to school, you got to get up early.
Yeah.
Especially right now. I mean, these kids have to be to school by 7:30.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
this has been great.
I'm
glad we finally got a chance to do this.
Yeah.
It's funny how many times I've heard from people like, hey, you and Andy, you guys are doing the same thing, but man, we really like it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about having you on, and we had to postpone the first time, and then schedules became an issue. And so I'm glad that we've just really been doing it. We say it every week, but keep doing what you're doing because it's working, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the more we tell the stories, the more we build the morale and I think we get more stories like this.
Yeah,
and then, we'll just keep going. So
I pull up Apple Podcasts on Tuesday mornings to see
and you didn't do it this week because
I know.
that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
Next week you will.
Giving me something to look forward to. So
Yeah.
That's right.
But thanks for coming on, man. It's been great to have you.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford.
Little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home. Feels like home. Feels like